Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have the newest release by Mancera, which is the Intense Instant Crush Extrait de Parfum. This is the largest bottle you can get, which is the 120ml or the 4 fluid ounce bottle, and it also comes in the 60ml, and I believe I got this a little over 120 British pounds, and in euros it's about 145 euros, and I got this shipped directly from France to the UK. Now, if you missed my previous video, I did a review for the newest Explicit Vanilla. So if you missed that video, you can go ahead and find it in the link below, or you can just search it on my channel. But focusing on today's video, we're looking into the Intense Instant Crush and how it compares to the original as well as the other releases by Mancera. So looking at the packaging, it's very similar to all the other Mancera releases. The only obvious difference, as you can tell, is that the Intense Instant Crush lettering here. So if you want to try the newest Intense Instant Crush, make sure you can see the word Intense lettering up here. Now at the back, we've got the ingredients list over here. You can pause the screen if you want to read that. At the bottom, there's nothing really useful for us down here. And underneath, we've got the batch code information etched down here, and at the top there is nothing. So without wasting more of your time, I'm going to open the packaging and show you what the bottle looks like inside. So here you can see the bottle looks very similar to the original Instant Crush. It has kind of a gold yellow gradient to the bottle, and at the top we've got the Mancera logo, and at the bottom we've got the batch code information that pairs with the packaging. I'm going to waste a few sprays for you. It's a very good spray, and it just clips back like this. Looking on the website, we can see the top notes. There's Indian saffron, black leather, and sparkling bergamot and Mandarin notes. The middle, we've got rose, precious amberwood, patchouli leaves, and salted caramel. And the base, we've got Mysore sandalwood, vanilla pods, oakmoss, as well as white musk. So after giving my Intense Instant Crush a good few wears on my skin and clothes to see how it performs and how it compares to the original Instant Crush, and you can also see I've took quite a lot out for my friends and family to try, the first thing that most people agree upon is that this is much more citrusy in the opening, and it definitely has a much more leather in this fragrance compared to the original Instant Crush. Now the opening for this one starts off very vibrant, quite similar to the original Instant Crush. It has this bergamot and mandarin combination in the opening, but it also has this really intense kind of a smoky leathery note mixed in with the amberwood, some caramel, as well as the rose note. And this only tends to last for about 20 to maybe 40 minutes before the mid notes and the base note starts to appear, and that turns to a very smoky, kind of a warm spicy scent, which I believe it's coming from the sandalwood, the vanilla, the oakmoss, as well as the patchouli. In my opinion, this Intense Instant Crush, it's much more mature, it's much more bold compared to the original Instant Crush, and it's definitely way more masculine compared to the original, mainly because of that leather note, as well as the amberwood and the sandalwood accords. And going to the performance of this fragrance, it does not project as much as the original Instant Crush. It projects a little bit weaker, but the longevity I would say is slightly better. So if you think of buying this fragrance because you might think this might outperform your original Instant Crush, I would suggest you to try this fragrance first, because for my skin at least, the projection for this fragrance isn't as good, and it only projects for about 2 to maybe 4 hours before it turns to a very intimate skin scent that lasts for about 10 to maybe 11 hours. So the longevity really isn't an issue, it's just the projection for this one is just a little bit weaker in my honest opinion. Now if you were to ask me if I were to pick this or the original Instant Crush, I personally would go for the original Instant Crush because it's much more vibrant, wearable, and it's a little bit much more versatile compared to this fragrance. I think this Intense Instant Crush is a little bit similar to the Explicit Vanilla that I did a review on yesterday. It has this kind of a warm, spicy vibe to this fragrance, but overall it's a really nice fragrance. It has a very vibrant opening, turns to this kind of a oriental, woody, spicy and smoky, leathery mid and a dry down. So overall I would give this fragrance a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's not a bad release, but it's also, I would expect it to project way more than it should, and the leather note was a pleasant surprise to say the least. So if you've tried this fragrance, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, how it compares to the original Instant Crush, because in my opinion, like I mentioned before, I still prefer the original Instant Crush, but that's just my opinion on this fragrance. And this is my quick and honest review. As usual, I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.